future scientists. My name is Mrs. Hiseley, and this is my assistant, Kylie. Say hi, Kylie.
Hi.
Today we're going to go over the topic that every scientist needs to know and understand, the scientific method. The scientific method is a fancy name for the steps that every scientist uses to solve a problem while doing a science experiment. To learn the steps of the scientific method, we're going to do a fun and helpful science experiment called the Amazing Rainbow of Density. Sounds cool, huh?
Yeah!
To study density, we're going to do an experiment with liquids. First, you might be wondering, what is density? Density is the scientific word for how heavy something is. The second thing you might be thinking is, I remember hearing the word liquid, but I forgot what it is. Well, for example, liquid is water, syrup, melted wax, well, anything that does not have a certain shape. During our experiment using the scientific method, we are going to be looking at the density of different liquids. Again, this means how heavy different liquids are compared to other liquids. Here are the steps for the scientific method we are going to be using to make the amazing rainbow of density. Number 1, ask questions. Number 2, plan and conduct an investigation. Number 3, collect data. Number 4, record and organize data. And number 5, communicate observations. Step 1 is ask questions. This is the part where a question is chosen that you want to have answered. Our question for the amazing rainbow of density is, what liquids are heavier or lighter than water, and how do we know? Step 2, plan and conduct investigation. This is where we decide how to answer our question using information that we already know. We already know that when something is heavy and put into water that it sinks, and when something is light, it floats. So, if we put different liquids on top of each other, some will sink and some will float. Now that we understand how to do the experiment, we have to plan how to conduct the investigation, which means how are we going to actually do the experiment? Our plan is to get as many different liquids as we can find at home. If you do this experiment, you need to have the help of an adult. Not all liquids you may find in your home are safe. To start, first we will put food coloring in the liquid so we know what liquids are which, and it makes it fun. Next we will measure 1/4 cup of each liquid into layers in a beaker. The water is red, the oil is its natural color, the salt water is yellow, and the soap is blue. As we layer the liquids in the beaker, we will watch which liquids are staying above the water and which liquids are sinking below the water. Step 3, collect data. After we have finished the experiment, it is time to think what will happen during and after the experiment. Wow, this is really amazing. The liquids made a rainbow. We know that the heavier liquids sunk to the bottom and the lighter liquids floated to the top. So now we can see which liquids are heavier or lighter than water. Step 4, record and organize data. This is the part we have to think about how we want to put our data or information together in a way that we can share it with others. The best way for this experiment would be to make a chart showing what liquids we put into the container and in what order we put them in. We also want to show what the container looks like after all the liquids went up and down. Step 5, communicate the data. This is the fun part. We get to share what we found after doing our experiment. Let us take a look at what liquids are heavier or lighter than water. Now that you know what the steps are for the scientific method, you can watch this video again and repeat this experiment at home, with the help of an adult, of course. Or think of questions of your own and practice these steps. Most important, have fun and be safe.
So began my love affair with water on the riverbank with all my friends. A big old rope tied to